Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Future Focus Fridays, brought to you by the Career and Technical Education Department with Stanley County Schools. We appreciate you tuning in. This week we will be exploring the Masonry career pathway. This pathway comes from the Architecture and Construction Career Cluster. So let's get started with some quick introductions of our CTE leadership team. My name is Mandy Mills. I'm the Director of Career and Technical Education. Next, we have Sandy Brunden, our CTE Curriculum Specialist, Talina Gooch, Career Development Coordinator for Albemarle and North Area Schools, and Karen Brown, Career Development Coordinator for South and West Area Schools. Sandy, will you get us started with our discussion about the Masonry pathway?
Absolutely. Here you can see on the screen the courses for the Masonry pathway. You'll see that the first course you're going to take will be Construction Core. Once you have successfully completed this course, you will then have the opportunity to take Masonry 1 and 2. After completing Masonry 2, you will be equipped to take a variety of additional Masonry courses, including Masonry 3, internships, and apprenticeships. These are great opportunities for building a career. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce our Masonry teachers who are going to give you a little bit more detail about what students learn in these pathway courses. We have with us this morning Mr. Matt Allman from North Stanley High School and Mr. Stephen Honeycutt from West Stanley High School. Mr. Allman, can you get us started with core construction and Masonry 1?
So core construction, I like to use the analogies much like basic training. If you were to join the military, during this course, you're going to get your basic skills down. So it's not trade specific, but it is those fundamental skills that you need to build off of. So it doesn't matter whether you're going to be a mason or a steel worker or a carpenter or a plumber. Everybody needs to have those fundamentals before they begin building on their trade. Masonry 1, of course, we get into a trade specific, and that is masonry. So Masonry 1, learn about the tools, how to manipulate those tools, learn about the different masonry units, how to mix mortar, laying brick to the line, and then building with the level. You begin to get those fundamentals down for the masonry trade.
Thank you, Mr. Allman. You'll also see on the chart that you can earn credentials through Masonry 1 and Masonry 2 that will help you in your career exploration and career development. Mr. Honeycutt, would you please share with us about Masonry 2 and Masonry 3?
Sure. So with Masonry 2, we piggyback off the skills you learn in core Masonry 1, and we take those skills and we practice it not only in the classroom to learn about the skills, but to do it in the shop. With Masonry 2, we talk about plans, we talk about residential masonry, and we also even talk about the introduction of metalwork in masonry, because not only do we use brick, but we have to protect our brick with reinforcement. And then Masonry 3, we also go even further into that and learn about advanced laying techniques, protecting our masonry from climate, weather, and even going into far as inspection. So the biggest thing with Masonry 2 and 3 is just advancing those skills and preparing the kids for a job situation. And so they have a smooth transition from school to a job.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Honeycutt and Mr. Allman. I know from going into y'all's classes that the kids in there love being in there. So speaking of students, we actually have some current students with us today. So we have 3 current students with us, Jacob Udi, Nathan Myers, and Kaylee Schaefer. Will each of y'all please introduce yourself? I'm not sure Kaylee's with us. If you could introduce yourselves and tell us what school you attend and which masonry class you're currently in, that'd be awesome.
I'm Jacob Udi from West Stanley High School, and I'm in Advanced Studies Masonry.
I'm Nathaniel Myers. I'm from North Stanley. Right now, I'm not currently in a masonry class, but next semester I'll be in Masonry 3.
Awesome. That's great. So Jacob, I know you've been highly involved in Skills USA competitions. Can you tell us a little about that, and would you recommend other students getting involved in that program?
Absolutely. I started in the skills my sophomore year and really decided to put everything I had into it and started to succeed and, started to get my name out into the industry, which really meant a lot to me, and because that's, of course, what you strive for. For the students, if it's something that you're interested in growing in, you like it, I highly recommend it. It's very enjoyable, and there's a lot of rewards in the end.
You've actually gotten some monetary rewards, right?
Absolutely.
I know, that's pretty awesome too. All right, so thanks, Jacob. Nate, now you said you're going to be taking Masonry 3 in the spring.
Yep.
Do you know, or can you tell us a little bit about some of the projects you've worked on in the past, or maybe some projects you think you'll be working on in the spring?
Most of the projects that I've worked on, there's been a number of them. There's at least 7 or 8 that I can think of off the top of my head, and all of them are different. Some of them have 4-inch block, some of them have 8-inch block. It's all different types.
How about some of the skills that you've learned while you're in masonry class?
I've learned, one of the main ones is I've learned how to lay brick. That's the main one.
That's a great skill.
Yeah, and another one is safety. Another thing is safety. I've learned how to be safe on a job.
Awesome.
We have one more current student who I think we had too many people in our room and she wasn't able to get in, so I want to bring her in now. Miss Kaylee Schaefer. Hey, Kaylee, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
So you're in core construction right now, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, well, tell us about it. Tell us what made you take that class and what you like about it.
I took that class because I'm like a more on hands-on person, and I don't like sitting in a class listening to the teacher talk like all the time. And so I took it something to be different, and I enjoy it. Like now that I've taken it, I enjoy it.
Awesome. You think you might go into a career in construction related?
Possibly, yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here. So you're probably one of the only girls in the class.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that good or bad?
It doesn't bother me.
Doesn't bother you. All right. That's my kind of girl. Thank you so much for being here, Kaylee.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. It's great to see you all enjoying your classes and learning so many skills. And I tell you, watching you guys compete in Skills USA competitions, it's really one of my favorite things that I get to do. And I enjoy that a lot. And you've both been very successful at that. Now we're going to get to hear from some of our former Masonry students about their experiences. And I will let them introduce themselves and tell us their name, what school they graduated from, what they're currently doing, and how their experience with the Masonry program has influenced them. So, Austin, if you want to start.
My name's Austin Shue. I graduated from North Stanley High School last year, and I'm working for my dad. He owns his own masonry business, and yep.
That's awesome. Where are you right now?
Right now, we're out in I don't know. I guess you'd say Anson County area, but we're just. Is there a way I can phone around my camera? No. I would show y'all, but it's kind of far off. But we're just doing a little foundation. It's got a wraparound porch, and we're about done with it. We're doing the piers. They're 12 by 12s all the way around.
Well, what was one of your favorite things that you did or learned while you were in high school?
Probably the competitions, competing. I really enjoyed that, and things I learned. Like reading the ruler, how to use a level. Like Nate said, just how to lay brick to the line and everything. You learn a lot, good skills, and it makes you like they said, you know, you're a lot more comfortable when you get out here compared to somebody who just like started and hadn't taken those courses or classes. But yeah, competitions was by far my favorite thing. You know, getting the rewards and getting your name out and stuff in the industry and everything. So.
Well, it was a lot of fun for us to watch that.
Yep.
So I'm not sure if we have anyone else that's going to join us. Maybe.
It's just us.
Yep, we have Josh Queen is with us now, Talina.
Okay, great. Josh, you want to tell us where you graduated and some of your experiences and how Masonry benefited you?
For a career, like calculating brick, like how much brick you'll need for a job, you know, how to make mortar, and just the basics laying brick to the line. All the stuff that I've learned in class has transitioned a lot into, you know, the career.
That's great. What are you working on currently?
Right now, I work at McGee Brothers, located in Midland. I just happen to have the day off. But we do a lot of foundation on houses and what we call veneers, putting brick on the front of a house. That's usually the main two things we do. We do a lot of residential work, and yeah,
That's wonderful. We're proud of you guys. Thank you for joining us.
No problem. Thank you.
Yes, thank you guys so much. We're proud of everything you've accomplished. We're going to let y'all go back to work now, and Josh, you enjoy your day off. Bye. Thank you. All right. Now we're going to bring in Mr. Kevin Hallman.
Good morning.
Good morning. Mr. Hallman is one of our industry partners. He is a supervisor at McGee Brothers. Kevin, welcome, and will you please tell us about McGee Brothers and the work that you do?
Yes, ma'am. I came to work with McGee Brothers in January 1987. It's a great family-owned company. They treat their employees like family, so I've obviously had a great career.
Thank you. Will you talk to us about the skills and characteristics you look for in your employees, and how would one of our masonry students get started with your company after they graduate?
Well, it's been very exciting to me to see the young guys that are in the masonry industry and school there, getting taught by Mr. Almond and Mr. Honeycutt. We lean on those guys to help us get these young men ready to go out to the workforce. Once they have taken masonry in school and competed in some of the Skills USA competitions, they are ready to come out there from day one and fall in with the crew. We'll have a foreman that can pick them up at a location, take them to the job, and they're ready to go to work and start earning money from day one. With us, we have a very good apprentice program that the high school guys get in. They can come to work as soon as they turn 16, work in the summers. And if they enjoy doing the work, of course, they can decide to make a career out of it. If they decide to make a career elsewhere, then that's certainly fine. But we feel like that we have an opportunity for young men in North Carolina to, have a good career, something that they can use the income to their advantage. They will be able to, most of them go on to have families, build nice houses, drive nice vehicles. Sometimes there's a little bit of a misconception that, you don't make the money in a skilled trade business that you'd make if you had a so-called white-collar job. But we found that to totally be, inconsistent with what people make when they have a skilled trade that they do.
Thank you, Mr. Hallman. We appreciate you being here and all the information you gave us, and we are actually getting ready to hear about the apprenticeship program from Mr. Shaver. So thank you so much for being here, and we appreciate your partnership with our students.
Yes, ma'am. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
All right. The last person that we want to introduce today is Ryan Shaver. Ryan is the Workforce Development and Training Coordinator for the North Carolina Masonry Contractors Association. Ryan, tell us about your organization and the pre-apprenticeship program.
Thank you, Ms. Mills. We're the North Carolina Masonry Contractors Association, comprised of a ton of the masonry contractors in the state of North Carolina, as well as the suppliers in the state along with us. So we have a little over 140 company members statewide. So we touch a lot of places throughout North Carolina. I came from a masonry program. And that's how I got my start in this career. My dad wasn't a mason. None of my family members were masons. I took the class in high school, really loved it, saw that I had a gift and wanted to work outside. I'm not an office guy, so I enjoyed working outside, being outside. So I made a career of masonry, and it's worked out really good for me and my family. And I'd like to share a couple of the programs, one in particular that we have. It's a statewide program that's been approved by the Department of Public Instruction, and it is our pre-apprentice program. Our pre-apprentice program is open for the students that are watching us today that have completed core and sustainable construction. Core and sustainable construction is your prerequisite on your related education component for this program. That core and sustainable, you must pass. You must have passed core and sustainable, which I think surely to goodness everyone watching has, and you must be 16 years of age. So if you're 16 and you've passed core and sustainable, then you are eligible for our pre-apprentice program. And I want to talk to you a minute about the program. Our mason contractors across the state, we have from Stanley County, we've got a ton of local contractors that would love to speak and talk to you about their company and their opportunity that they have. But what the pre-apprentice program is, it guarantees you a minimum starting wage of $12 an hour. Now, I have quite a few companies that pay a little more than $12 an hour at 16, but that is our standard across the state. Minimum wage, what Ms. Mills is around $7.25-ish. You'll make that at a fast food, maybe bagging groceries, something like that. What we're offering you is $12 an hour minimum starting pay, and we want to teach you a trade. So you'll get what's called OJT, on-the-job training, as well as you're getting paid on the hour to get this training. So this training's not costing you anything. You're getting paid to get this training. So the hour requirement for that is 135 hours. So I don't want you stopping at 135 hours. When you reach that 135 hour mark, I want that to just be you're getting started that summer. I had multiple students this past summer work 300 to 400 hours during the summer. So it was a great opportunity for them. I have one young man, in fact, we've got a video of him. He left school last year or when school was canceled last March. He did not have a vehicle, and he's waiting, anticipating school starting back where he can drive the vehicle that he bought himself back to school over the summer. So it's a good opportunity for you as a student. It also comes with another perk. So my son went through this program in 2018, and as you see, he got a certificate of completion here. And that certificate of completion, once you take it back to the school, Ms. Mills can work on getting you a CTE apprenticeship credit for your on-the-job training. So you've got two components to the program. We'll review for a minute. You've got your related instruction, which means you have to have completed core and sustainable construction. And then you have your on-the-job training, your OJT, which is a minimum of 135 hours required. Do I want you stopping at 135? Absolutely not. I want you to continue working past the 135, but 135 is where you need to be to apply and get the CTE apprenticeship credit. So that's very important. The good thing about this is not only will you get another high school credit for working during the summer and get paid a really nice wage at 16, and you remember 15 minutes early is on time. So you're required to get your own raises, and one way to do that is arrive 15 minutes before time to start work and be ready to work at that time. I could tell you 1,000 things to help you get a raise, but that's a good one. And the last thing I would like to speak about is the hours that you accumulate on the job once you graduate high school, and we want you to come back to our trade full time and make a career out of it. Those hours will be rolled over to an apprenticeship program. So it's not like you just got hours that you've done this program. Those hours will roll over. You'll have those hours in the bank, and you can start your apprenticeship, which increases your pay scale much quicker. So a lot of good opportunities for you, the student. And if you would like to contact me, please contact me. I'm going to give you my cell phone number. My cell phone number is 704-791-5240. You can also contact Mr. Honeycutt or Mr. Allman. Either one of those two guys can give you a lot of information about the program. They can get in touch with me in a heartbeat, or you can call me. I don't do the Snapchat or the Insta. I don't do any of that. So if you want me, call me. I'll answer my phone. I'm a one-finger texter, so I can't text real fast, but I will text you back if you shoot me a text. But anyway, get up with me. Any questions you have, and I look forward to hearing from you. Ms. Mills, thank you for having me today.
Ryan, thank you so much. That sounds like such a great opportunity. So thank you to you, and thank you to all of our guests today on this week's Future Focus Friday featuring the career pathway of Masonry. We thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you again next Friday.